everyone who is watching this, everyone who's here and that will be watching in the future. Today we will be talking about CMAs on how to properly complete a CMA. What is a CMA? It's a comparative market analysis. And what you're trying to find out is how much this house is worth. How much can you list the property for? And overall, how much could you sell it for? This is important for both, if you're representing the sellers and if you're representing the buyers. If you're representing the sellers and you undersell it, you're affecting your customer. If you put it too high and it doesn't sell for a long time, you're affecting your customer. If it's a buyer, you don't want to submit an offer on a property that is not worth it. So that's basically what CMAs are good for. They're very similar if you guys are doing BPOs, which stands for broker price opinions. They're very, very similar. And I'm going to show you two examples today on how to properly do these. If you are new in the market, if you're new in real estate, I suggest you get your own property and you do these four. You can send me your property address and tell me, if I were selling my house today, this is what I would list it for. These are the comps that I used or comparables that I used. And then we can do it together and I can tell you, okay, this is what I would have done differently. It doesn't mean I'm correct. Sometimes I miss something because I'm human, but because I'm also an appraiser, I do this a lot more than a typical realtor. So we are going to get started. Claudia, let me know when I share my screen. If you can see it, I'm going to first share Collier County screen. You should see here where it says Collier County Property Appraiser. So if you cannot see it, just let me know. Okay, I'm going to continue. So I'm just going to pick a property and we're going to run a CMA on. So you're going to go here to search database. I accept. Okay, thank you. She said she can see it. You can search by any of these tabs. Typically, it's a property address or a homeowner. I'm gonna do it on my home. So you will see a lot of information. This is public records. It's not 100%, but it's usually more accurate than the MLS or prior MLSs. Okay. I do research the prior MLSs as well, because sometimes they have additional photos or condition, or they talk about upgrades and renovations for the properties. So it is always a good rule of thumb. If you see there's a Naples and a Cape Coral, make sure you pick the correct property, okay? But as a good rule of thumb, it's good to always do this in the beginning. So now we're trying to figure out what features the property has. So how many bedroom count, how many bathrooms, the lot size, if it has a garage, if it has a pool. So the first thing I do, if it's a single family, I go to sketches. If it's not a single family, in Collier County, it does not have a sketch. In Lee County, it does. And we'll choose a condo in Lee County. I just don't want to forget the address. So we can do this just so you can see the difference. So in this case, you're going to say, okay, the square footage of the house is 1,700 square feet, 1712. It has a porch. It has a 2-car garage. I just know it's a 2-car garage because of the measurement here. If it's a 1-car garage, it's like 13 or 14 feet wide. And then if it's 19, 18 or more, it's usually a 2-car garage. It looks like it has a lanai. It has no pool, no outbuildings, based on what the county is showing. Then I go into aerial and I say, okay, does it have any outbuildings? It looks like it has something back there that's not permitted or something that's not included. So I would ask the homeowner, hey, what's going on back there? Or if you've already been to the property, you can already take it into consideration. Okay. It was built in 2002. It doesn't look like the roof was redone. It does, and this is where you would see it here. It doesn't look like it was demoed. And actually, the shed, there is a shed back there that's permitted. So we can count that. Then we go here and we see, okay, what are the prior sales and what are the prior transfers? So the most recent one, which I would think is the purchase of the property, is they bought this property in 2007 for $312,000. That's important to know when you're doing a CMA for a seller, because most of the time they tell you the number they want to walk away with, or they want to walk away with the most number. So that's important for you to know and take it into consideration. The acreage in this case is 1.25 acres. So we kind of already have, you know, some good information here. Now we're going to go to the MLS. The MLS has one photo. It tells us nothing. And just so you know, we actually bought it in 2004. This was when we bought it. This is the information we got. This is why realtors, it's important to do your job correctly. So it has no information whatsoever. At this point, you would have to ask your customer, hey, let me ask you, since you purchased the property, what upgrades have you done to the property? Does it have a new AC, new water heater, new roof? Did you upgrade the cabinets? In this case, it has upgraded cabinets, upgraded trim, upgraded flooring. The bathroom countertops were redone with marble. The kitchen has granite. The rear screen has been rescreened. There's a driveway. So there's a lot of upgrades to this property that you would have to ask the sellers for. If you have not been to the property, it is best if you go to the property, because sometimes they think their house is awesome, but it's not. But if not, if you just want to give them a rough number, you can just ask them these questions. Now, we have all this information, right? 1,700 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. In the entire MLS, it doesn't matter if the house is in Lee County, Hendry County, Collier County. There's going to be something called the geo area code. If you don't know it, you should have a map. The MLS sells them. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it if I show you, but I actually still have a paper one. I believe they have it online as well. Because of the background, it doesn't let me show you. But it tells you the geocode. It's basically an easy way for you to locate properties, okay? So in this case, we have NA46 as our geo area. Whatever comps you find, you want to use the most recent comps. So if possible, within the prior 120 days, you want to try to find, in a perfect world, you would use comparables that are exactly like your subject. That's really hard to do in an area like this, because we have new construction in that area. You have properties that have not been updated, others that have been updated. But in a perfect world, the perfect comps would be a 2002 year built, 3-bedrooms, 2 bathrooms with 1,700 square feet. That's in a perfect world. I'm sorry about that. So, but because this is not going to be a perfect world for this property. If it's a condo, it's a little easier because all the properties have the similar floor plan. So you have to take that into consideration. So the first thing I do is I go here. The first thing I actually do is I add it to a cart down here. I don't know if you guys are aware, in your MLS, you have carts. Let's just pick this one. And we can delete them. All the little ones in there. Excuse me. Now we can go to search residential. So we're going to do actives and pendings. You give most weight to what's closed if it's recent, but being that the market is typically increasing at the moment, you want to include them all. We said it was NA46, single family. Make sure you hit that. Some areas have single family and some areas have villas and all that stuff. Back there, there's only single family, but I just want to show you everything you have to consider. Having a 3-bedroom and a den, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom may not matter. Now, 1-bedroom versus 3-bedroom matters. So you don't really have to choose this unless you think it would matter in the market. You as a specialist would know these things. Bathrooms, we can do 2. We're just gonna do 3. If you need to click more than one, you hit Control and then you click on the ones that you want to click on. So let's just say we're only going to use 16 to 1800 square feet for now, just to see. It's giving us 17 results. So we're going to change it a little bit. We want a little bit more of results. Maybe 30 is like the perfect number. Year built, because there's a lot of new construction, we're going to do 2010 and older. So most of those were new construction. No pool, because we don't want to compare it with any that have pools. And I did 2-car garage and I dropped it down to 2. So we need to change a few things here. Let's just take off the bedroom count. So there's really not a lot going on over there. Let's do 1500 plus. It looks like they're doing smaller homes. Yeah, it looks like they're doing smaller homes, which we can use, but in a perfect world, you got to try to use something smaller. So if we click here on living area, it actually puts it in order for us. We're in the $1,700 range, which is right here. Let's see. So now we're gonna look at all the features. What's the year built of the property? What's the condition of our property versus the comparables? So if you ask me, this is a great comparable. It's the same year, same bedroom count. Almost, it might even be the same builder. So we're gonna click on it. I don't know, it doesn't look the same. So let's see. Updated flooring, kitchen cabinets. It's nothing too major. So this was actually pretty good comp, except the acreage. The subject's acreage is 1.25 acres, and this one's 2.73 acres. The more you do these, the more you will learn if that matters or not. In this case, it does. So we are going to go back, and we're going to only do 1 to 2 acres. And then we have a total of 4. So we don't have anything that's 1,700 square feet. So the highest one is this one. The biggest one is this one. You look at condition, you look at all the features. So based on what I've told you and what this looks like, it probably looks like similar condition. And this sold a month ago for $343. It's 1.25 acres, just like the subject. 2006, it's not that far off, because in that year the building codes were similar. So this would be a good one. You would just have to adjust for the square footage because it's smaller. So you always want to try to bracket all of the features of the subject. What I mean by bracket is if the subject is 1712 square feet, you want to try to get a smaller one and a larger one. And that applies to everything. That applies to year built, I was gonna say age, bedroom count, bathroom count, living area, garage, if it has a pool, the view, the acreage, everything. It applies to everything. So if you already have one that has a 2-car garage, that's it. You don't have to worry about it. But that will kind of give you an idea of, okay, would it need an adjustment for that? Because you're typically not going to find a perfect comp. So you have to manually do that. So we're gonna say, this is a good one too. So as you go, you can choose them. We usually have a lot more to choose from. If you don't like it for whatever reason, like if this has like a Olympic size pool, or these above ground spas and pools do not count, do not include them in your pricing. If a hurricane comes, it can blow it away and that's it, it's gone. So it's not considered a fixture. If you're selling a property with that in it, make sure you know if the seller intends to take it or leave it, and put it in writing. So these are all pretty much similar. If you see there's $100,000 difference, but it's because this is 1,000 square foot larger. So as an active or a listing, that's probably not a good one. So what we're going to do is we're going to add it to that cart that we had it in, and we're going to find, I wonder what cart I decided to put that in. It was Tamir, I don't remember his last name. I'm gonna put this on pause for a second. Hold on. No. Okay, so we're back. If you cannot see the screen for any reason, just let me know. So I'm going to add these comps to that cart, okay? Because now what I'm gonna do is, okay, in the immediate area, this is what's available. This is what's comparable. So what would be the next step? We have to go a little further out because we want to try to see if there's any actives and if there's anything larger, okay? So next to NA 46, my map says is NA 47. So you can leave the same criteria and then just change the 46 to 47. It looks like there's actually quite a bit more. So let's see. We got this one at 1843, 1880. It's there. This 405 seems to be a little high, but we got actives. 270 seems very low. So these, if you just want to look at these and narrow them down, you can go here. This is like a CMA / MLS class. You can do refine and narrow, and then everything you've left unchecked, I'll take off the list. So that makes it easier when navigating. You can also move this up here on the left. So now I have my actives together and my closed together. So we're gonna start just kind of skimming through and seeing the condition. I know this is very thorough, but if you have somebody's biggest investment in your hands, you should be thorough and professional and try to do the best job that you can. Unfortunately, we hear a lot of stories of other agencies that don't do that. So this one seems a little inferior because it doesn't have marble countertops or granite countertops. It really doesn't look like, it's nice, like it's in good condition, but it doesn't really look like it's been upgraded. And it's sold for $359 a month ago. Same acreage, has one more bedroom, and it's a little larger, but it's inferior in condition. So we can kind of adjust for the living area and adjust for the condition as well, but we can use it. And this one looks updated. The flooring's updated, but it has solid surface countertops, which is inferior. Formica in the bathroom. So this one, they kind of put lipstick on a pig, painted it, made it look pretty, but it really doesn't have, the core things are not completely updated. The AC looks like it's 3 years old, but I mean, it's still a good comp. It's down the street from ours. All right, let's see. This 405 one has me thinking. Let's see. So we got granite, we got backsplash, stainless steel appliances. The cabinets look like they just changed the handles on them. It has double tray ceilings. The bathroom shower was updated. So was this tub, and they have the frameless shower glass door, which is also an upgrade, built-in cabinets. So this one looks superior, which is good. We want inferior and superior. We want to bracket everything. Now, actives. We're almost done with this, okay? Let's see. This one, similar, we'll say. This one has no pictures, and it says it needs TLC, which is tender loving care. That means it's probably a rehab, hence the price. Okay, we're not going to include it because it would be way too inferior. And that's kind of your job as a specialist in the market to figure these things out. So this is also a little bit inferior. Did update the flooring, but not the cabinets or countertops. It's well kept though. The tub looks updated. So it's a little inferior, but not much. They have solar panels. Now, with solar panels, you have to make sure, let's see what it says. Never have an electric bill. FPO will pay you because seller installed and owns solar panels. You see how they put that there? If they don't own the solar panels, the appraiser cannot account for them. It is not their property. If they stop paying for it, the bank who lend them the money for the panels can come and take the panels. So unless it's owned, it cannot transfer with the property. And you cannot account for it. So make sure you ask if it has solar panels, how it works, and who owns it, and if they have any loans on it, okay? So this is actually probably why it's a little higher, because although the interior of the house is not updated, the exterior is. So we're gonna go back to our little cart here. And we're gonna add those. So now we have about 9 comps. We have 8 closed, not 8, 6 closed and 2 pending. In a perfect world, you would have maybe 10 of each to kind of give you an idea of what the numbers are. But we don't have that many. And this is just showing you the idea and the basics of how to do a CMA. So we're going to select them all. Here where it says stats, you go to tabular, and it's kind of gonna, based on these numbers that you've selected, it's gonna give you an idea of list price, sale price, averages of both. It's gonna give you list to sale price ratio, which is super important. And believe it or not, I've had customers ask me that. And days on market, also equally important. So let's say we go by median, which is my favorite one. You can do average, but I feel like if there's an outlier somewhere there, that if you do this quickly and you don't handpick your comps, it could throw you really off. So let's say we go off of median. The median home in the area is 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's selling at $370, $218 a square foot. We had one person ask us that. Not a lot of people ask that. And I'll tell you, you shouldn't answer that, because this number it's giving you includes land value. Appraisers don't include that when they adjust for it. If you have any questions on that, let me know, because that's like a day of class. But it normally I don't say it. So the average sale price is $345. So what this is telling us, okay, if you list it for $370, you could sell it at $345. And it tells us here, I don't agree with this based on the market and how it's going, but this is what these numbers say. That it's selling at 94%. So what that means is if the house is listed at $100,000, it's selling at $94,000. So if you do the math for this, it should give you that number. Typically, there's days on market here. I don't know why it's not showing up. And that gives you the average days on market. That way you can tell your customers, hey, the property is selling within 30 days or within this. So if you get to 30 days, and that's what's typical, and you don't sell, that means the property's too high, or it's not showing well, or there's a problem and a reason it's not selling. Okay, so it's for some reason the days on market didn't come out, which it usually does. All you would have to do is add these days on market, which gave me 225. You divide it by 9. And actually, I shouldn't have included the subject. I shouldn't have included the 46, but let's just say it's 25 days on market. So that's the average. So if you've had the house on the market for 60 days, there's a problem. Either it's overpriced, it's not showing well. The neighbors, every time someone comes over is like screaming at them. There's something going on. So you have to reevaluate everything and see what you're doing wrong, or what's happening. So this is a good CMA here. Okay, we can do the same thing on the MLS for Lee County. The only thing I want to show you on LePaw is if it's a condo, if you click here, you can get the sketch here. In Collier County, you can't do that. You have to actually go into an old MLS or something like that. Now, if you're not signed up with this, I suggest signing up with this. This is a good, quick tool that you can use to back yourself up if you don't know the area. However, this is not 100% accurate. This is like Zillow. It's similar to Zillow. So I'm sure you are aware Zillow is not always right. It could be very wrong. Those estimates that they give, I would not guide myself by Zillow. If you guys have any questions or need any help, just let me know. But if you're not signed up, sign up. And I'm going to show you quickly. Let's see if with this one it works. But it's The good thing about this, why I like it, is because it actually pulls data from public records as well. So if in the area, there's a builder sale, there's a developer sale, there's a for sale by owner, this will also pull it up. Okay, and it does it for residential and commercial. And I have about 3 or 4 boards I'm part of. So it will give you all of those boards. If you guys ever need anything from another city or state, or just let me know. Not state, just city. So let's just say we put the address here and someone tells us, hey, I need you to tell me how much I can sell my house for. We're going to use the same house as the example. This is actually telling us $375 off the bat, but you can create your own CMA on here. This could be 80 pages long. It could be 5 pages long. This is good because if you set it up and you add your picture and everything, you can print it and set and give it to the customer. Very professional. You can also email it to them. It depends on who your customer is. They may love it or they may hate it, but you have to kind of feel out your customer. Some people don't want to know all this stuff and they get overwhelmed. Some people actually enjoy it and they're like, oh, wow, I can't believe you actually gave me this information. So it's totally up to you what you decide to do. So we're going to say confirm facts. Some properties change information from the last time that they were updated. So you just have to see, okay, is any of this changed? No, it hasn't. So you want to confirm facts. And now you want to find comps. So what I do is I hit select all. I want to see every activity, everything going on in this area. Okay. Make sure whatever item you're looking for, if it's single family or condo, that you've selected it there. You could say last 6 months, you'll probably get too many in this area. So you want to say the last month, maybe the last 3 months is probably a better range. Here it's telling you, okay, you're going to find anything with 3 bedrooms or more, anything with 1 bedroom or more, 1,200 square feet or more. And it's telling you it's going to go from 0.85 to 143 if you click this box. Now, I will click it, but I'm going to change some stuff. I'm going to say 1 to 2 because a 1 acre is not compared to 3 acres. There's no comparison. You would have to heavily adjust for that. And then we're going to say 2010 because there's a lot of new construction. Okay, we're going to hit start. And then down here, you'll see a key. The subject will be in this black. Sometimes they update this website and sometimes it's like yellow. So just look at the key down here because don't get used to the key. They change it pretty often. Okay. So for sale pending, recently closed. So on that street next to it, there's one that closed for $295. There's one over here that closed for $390. So it might mean that one has a pool or whatnot. This is actually pending. $565 makes me think it's not even comparable. You can also zoom out. I don't know. Let me go back because it usually asks if you want to include, it's not asking that. They just updated this. You can include distress sales and you can also include public record sales. It's not asking me this time for that, which it used to. So hopefully it's still including it. So I have a lot more now. You can use this as a comp. See, this one has a pool and you know that. So let's just, we're going to pause this real quick. Just a minute. Okay, sorry about that. We had to answer the phone really quickly. All right, so we're just going to choose a few. You can also make it a favorite, especially if you have a lot, or you can see details. And then it'll tell you information about the property. So you can decide, kind of the same thing we just did. So you can decide, hey, do I use it or do I not use it? We're going to use this one as a comp. Do not do what I'm doing right now. It's just I've already showed you how to click through them and check photos and check condition. You should be doing what I showed you earlier because it will not be accurate otherwise. And we're competing with 8,000 agents. We want to do the best job that we can. Okay, so those are the ones I chose. If you look here, it's telling you, oh, the range is from 332 to 505. That is on the comps that they've included, not the ones we chose, okay? So, of the evaluation and close. There's a screen that you can hit adjust comps on, and you can actually adjust. So if it's a superior comp, you can do this and it starts adjusting. You should do this manually so you know what this number should be. Or if it's inferior, let's do this inferior. And let's do this superior, just that makes a little bit more sense. Okay, and then down here, it's gonna say, oh, your total adjustments are 1,400. You can put this is superior or inferior because it has an old roof, because it's an older model. This is in superior, and because it has a pool or whatever notes you want to add on there. And you can do this on all these comps. I think I chose 6 of them. Okay, update valuation. The point of this is just to give you an idea. See, based on the comps I chose, which I didn't look for, this could sell for $332 to $455 or $238 a square foot. It's not too off of what we chose earlier, but you can go to create report, and then you can view a sample. Like I said, 81 pages or 10 pages. You can do a mini property flyer. You can do a mini report. There's many things that you guys can play with here. They're very, very good. I'm gonna actually do this one so you guys can see. This is exactly that stuff. If we actually send the report, maybe we'll have it by the time. You would have to run report. If there's an email address you want to send it to, you can put email address. So that's it, it's generating. It does take a while when it's 81 pages. So maybe we'll be done by the time we're done with this video here. This is just an example of stuff that you will get on there. They will include the comps you've chosen, the adjustments you've done, the neighborhood, the schools, the crime rating, everything and anything. Prior MLS photos. If you have current photos, you can manually upload those as well. So this is just basically giving your seller a nice professional report of this is why I think your house is worth this and we can sell it for this. Excuse me. It also gives them statistics. I mean, if it's 81 pages of stuff, it's too much information for them, but there's people who like to know that. And it gives them a breakdown because every seller thinks their house is the best on the block. So it gives them a breakdown of, okay, this how your comparables, your competition has this, and this. So it's very, very, very detailed. That's why I'm saying you can choose down. If you click on seller's report, you can choose stuff to take off and include. All of them are checked right now. But if there's only, once you start playing with it and using it, if there's only like certain pages you want to include or take out, let's say you don't want to include seller proceeds or this, let's say you want to take off all this stuff, all you have to do is unclick it and then run report. That's it. Oh, it might be ready. Let's see. It usually says ding, ding, ding. That usually does that. And then you can download the report. And let's see. Can you still see the screen, Claudia? I'm gonna just double click on it just in case. You don't worry about it. Just if you can't see this, it says seller's report and property address, just let me know. So see, it says, it shows them a picture. We could update this picture if you have a better picture of the house. But you guys can figure that out. It tells you information about who you are, your contact information, where to reach you, very professional. And then we start on the report. I'm not going to go through the 77 pages. I'm not. But you guys can do this on your own time. I've already showed you how to get there, but just so you quickly see the kind of stuff that you can do with this program, to me, it's amazing. ARP is retired people, just so you know, in case you didn't know. It talks about prior history. I mean, all sorts of statistics. There's a section that talks about schools, market health charts, like how well the market's doing overall. So there's certain information you don't want to tell them. You just take it out. They're going to look at probably this page the most and the price on the first page. But you see how detailed it is. What the price sold for, when it sold for, price per square foot. They guide themselves a lot by this, but I'll teach you guys how to tell them not to do that. That's not accurate whatsoever. Okay, and then it gives them a detailed of every comp. This is every single comp. And like I said, I'm not going to explain all of these pages. You guys can just play with it. Do one on your house and let me know, and then we'll sit down and see like I said at the beginning, what I would have done differently. That should not have been on there. That's a manufacturer home. So at this point, you can go back and just take it off if for whatever reason it got on there. It's using other comps that we didn't include, just to give you an overall market. It's using new construction. This is why it's important for you guys to not do things automatically and just double check everything. And this page is actually really good. It tells them, okay, we think you should list the property at this much. It's going to probably sell for this much. Thank you, Claudia. And overall, that's the important part. Like, this is not comparable. That's an expired listing, because I told them to include expired listings as well. So, Claudia, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? I think that's it. I don't know if I missed anything. Okay, very good question. So the question is, if the property subject was owner built and there's no previous sales or pictures on the MLS, to use LIPA or Collier only? No. If it's an owner built, if the property's never been built before, ever, and you have no prior MLS, LIPA will only give you the outside picture, and it will give you the most recent picture that they have, which in this case for this condo is a street picture. That does no good for you. I'll show you another one of a house just so you see, but they're not always accurate. So this is a time where you have to ask the owner. So this is the picture of that house that I just pulled up, and it's actually pretty accurate in this case. It says July 2021 down here. That's when that photo was taken. Sometimes it goes back to 2008. So it's not always accurate. The best case would be for you to ask the seller, hey, what's the condition of your property? Have you done any upgrades? How old is the AC system? The roof is a big one because of hurricanes. And just kind of get a good feel for them. If you cannot go to the property, the best thing to do is go with a notepad and go to the property and say, let me see your property so I can give you a price. But in my experience, they do not always want you to do that, because they want to first know what you think we can sell the house for and if they're going to list with you. So it's okay as long as you know the condition of the property. Even if it's never been listed before, you'll be able to do all of this that I just showed you. It just won't have photos in this report, but you can manually import a photo. If not, put a picture of our company logo, or put a picture of a nearby house, or you can even leave it empty. The report does not have to have a picture, just in case you don't have any. But that was a really, really good question, because we do have that happen quite a bit. All right, no problem. So thank you. And I hope this was helpful. If you have any additional questions after this, please let me know.